You know, in this world, there are two things that I hate the most: politics and kids. So, to my great dismay, those things are so often intertwined, and the culmination, big words, see, I'm so smart. The culmination of that is this channel right here. On Instagram, my GSD Nation.
I'm a conservative kid. Of course I use the bathroom based on how I was born. I'm a conservative kid. Of course I know that the national debt and inflation is stealing our future. I'm a
I'm
conservative
gonna put
kid.
that image here of the guy. It's hilarious. I'm laughing about it even thinking. But I'm gonna edit it that way. But hello, I thought we'd go on take a looky at their page and hate on some kids, but that's fine because they're in politics. No, I'm kidding. Because maybe they have some incredible takes and I will just eat my words.
I think that everything right now is very expensive.
I don't think there's a single person who doesn't count the economy as the most important factor in the election.
The grocery bill rockets.
Our next topic is school safety.
Age of AI.
The healthcare system could maybe provide less drugs. Yes. And
Okay, you're stupid. What does that mean? Oh, I have my arm chopped off. No morphine. The healthcare system should provide less drugs. You, with sickle cell disease, you will get no morphine. Oh, every single bone in your body feels like it's exploding? See? That's my problem with kids doing politics, because they hear drugs bad, and generally, yeah, sure, drugs can be bad. But then they hear, okay, hospital gives drugs. Drugs bad. Donate to Israel. No, they say, They say remove drugs from the hospital. No, that's so stupid. But first of all, let me just break it down. I don't believe kids should be involved in politics. What? And this is not like some right wing or left wing. No, either way. In this like pre-teen years, or maybe like 12 to 14, after you're 15, you gain like consciousness and you can go into politics, do whatever you want. But here, when you're like 12, maybe calm down. Don't go into politics because you're so impressionable. Like, how would you verify if someone? How do you verify your beliefs when you're this young? Because no offense, you're stupid, right? I know I was. I know you were. You still probably are, and I still probably am. But how do you verify your beliefs? Because you can be like, yeah, if you're old, you can say, I got the lived experience to like support my political view, which is often flawed, but either way. But here, as a kid, you have no lived experience, nor do you have like probably stats, because you're too stupid to verify those stats. Because as a kid, in your elementary school age, you should be like learning to cooperate with other kids, you know? Learn how to communicate, how to work together in a society. Wow, it's almost like that will be useful to you later if you decide to go into politics, because you can see how the bills you pass or the laws you try and look on impact other folks. Okay, but either way, enough yapping. Let's roast some kids.
personally, I think having a background check to buy a gun is a good thing, because what if they have a criminal background?
That already exists in most states, or in every single state, I'm pretty sure. Ooh, they got fitness, podcast, quotes, logic. Woo! Okay, you know what? I was a bit dull. I wasn't as excited for this video because I thought, kids, they would just say some boring generic stuff. But maybe they seem to be stupid, and stupid people. No, okay, they seem to be kids, and kids are stupid. They aren't stupid and kids. They're just kids, and kids are okay. No.
I'm a conservative kid. Of course I use the bathroom based on how I was born. I'm a conservative kid. Of course.
You know what? In my opinion, they should have bathrooms based on piss or poop instead of gender.
So me and my brother are part of Gen Alpha, and we have a podcast about conservative values. We think that the government is stealing the future from us. So I'm wondering, what advice do you have for Gen Alpha?
First of all, what's the name of your podcast? I'd love to subscribe.
It's Programming Lines.
Why Sigma males are more attractive than alpha males. Stay tuned.
What you can do is that I think you are both super articulate. You need to go talk to as many people that can't vote as possible and remind them you're actually the reason why they should vote.
Amen.
What? No, that didn't answer his questions, but alright. And to answer your questions, America's kind of fucked with the new big beautiful bill that passed. Yeah, the future is kind of fucked for you.
Because like there's multiple different ones of them.
When you think about religion, oftentimes you might have people say, well, how can you prove to me that God exists? But you can also say, well, prove to me that he doesn't exist.
Probably one of the best arguments, but Russell's teapot. If I tell you there is a magical teapot behind the moon, you can never see it, but you have to believe it exists. No, you probably want some proof, which is fair. That's why if you say God exists, it's on you to provide that proof that it exists. It's like basic, very basic logic you learn in college. Or even in high school. Of course, these kids didn't go to high school, but this old, wise, programmed lion mentor should know this.
So both of those things are kind of true at the same time. That's where revelation comes in terms of faith. So typically in arguments with people who are not of that faith or not religious, you're going to have a better opportunity of convincing somebody of something using empiricism or rationalism, meaning science or logic.
Yes, it's almost like those are the defaults when trying to convince somebody. We use logic. But you see, the problem with God is that you cannot use logic because that removes faith. And faith is one of the core beliefs in God. So you can never believe him. It's always down to faith.
What do you think tactically someone can do?
These aren't kids.
No matter what, student debt is plaguing our country, which is why you should contact YRefi. They consolidate your private student loans to help you pay down your debt.
Are sponsorship deals illegal with kids?
The Epstein case is closed? No, far from it. While we agree with most of what the Trump administration is doing, this is purely a disappointment. We supported Trump, Patel, and Bongino because they were going to expose the creeps and the deep state. Now, they are walking it back. Unacceptable.
Not bad. Good take.
So now that we've gone through some of the technical aspects of logic, knowledge, epistemology, rationalism, empiricism, revelation, divine revelation, perhaps, how can we know something is true? Like,
I actually did some research on this. So number one is source credibility. The second is cross-referencing and fact-checking. The third is evaluating the evidence, and then identifying a bias. So if there's a bias in something, you know that they're probably not telling the truth.
So now that we've got...
You know what, kids? I don't know how deep you want to take this, but in philosophy, there is no such thing as truth in the grand scheme of things. Practically, sure. At the state of events as they have happened in the reality, but what is real? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about here, but to be fair, everyone is biased, so nothing will be true. Liberal logic, 1986, Dems, Democrats, against abolition of slavery because who's gonna pick the fields? 25 Dems, 2025 Dems, against deportation of illegals because who's gonna pick the fields? I don't know, something rubs me the wrong way about kids making like political sketches. Have you ever seen somebody that like has no idea how the world works and you're trying to talk to them, but like it doesn't go through? That's how I feel of these kids, which is bad because they are the future generation. Say like I'm 70 years old, I'm about to die. No, I'm the future generation, bro. I'm gonna fix this shit. Just while you watch.
You might have some bias in terms of how good you think you are.
Yes, everyone does, but fair point.
Yeah. I'm better than him.
You're not?
Yes, I am.
You're
Yes,
not?
I am.
You're not?
I'm not biased.
I could watch you guys play, which I do often. I actually enjoy watching you play more than playing myself.
I prefer not to, actually, on second thought.
And then I can make...
That is their dad, right? That's not some random guy on their podcast being like, I watch you guys play. Okay, that's...
my own assessment, right? Do my own research, essentially, to determine what is true based on observing you two play. Right?
Yeah.
What are they talking about? It was the most like the biggest nothing sandwich I've ever seen. Say I, talking to a camera as well.
Do my own research, essentially, to determine what is true based on observing you two play. Right?
Why Sigma males are more attractive than alpha males. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Anthony Spade channel.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. I won't give the audience any indication of whether I believe that this is true.
Can you tell us
but
after?
This is a good. It's a good example that you can work through in terms of your thinking, how you break things down, uncovering the source.
Fortnite debate uncovering the truth and bias in gameplay. What the fuck are we watching?
Christian.
Against Christian nationalism.
And people say that we
We
are
are
being
the-
indoctrinated.
Like, this child is what, maybe 3 years old?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, and you two are, yes, you're being indoctrinated as much as that kid. Probably even more, because that kid is just holding up a sign not knowing what it means. Meanwhile, you think you know what you're saying, and you think you believe what you believe. But you have no idea why you believe it.
I'm just curious what you think about meme coin. Is it a good option, kind of?
No, it's gambling. They're casino tokens.
Oh shit. Okay, not a bad take. Doesn't come from them. It comes from like a ripped finance, bro. But okay, hold on now.
That masquerade as digital collectibles. It's a game. It's a casino game that's global and it's unregulated, which is why people love to do it. People that start the coin, they're the ones that take the money from everybody that bought the coin. It's a scam.
Are
like Hawk Tuah coin?
Oh yeah. You can definitely go to jail for doing something like that.
Do you think there's like any other good online options other than like Bitcoin?
No.
Ethereum, Solana, bro. Okay, well, you know what? He doesn't sound stupid. Maybe he has some reasons, but not discounting all crypto simply because Bitcoin exists, kind of stupid. I never understood why people are so patriotic. Maybe because I moved countries, but like I have no like attachment to my country. Like cool, good, some pretty okay politics. Some things bad, some things good. But people like glazing their own country. That's so weird to me. Like, oh yeah, America, 4th of July.
If you're a really strong, hard Christian, your decision making is from the Bible, and your decisions are not from anywhere else.
Or even if you just subscribe to Christian ethics, maybe you don't believe in God, but you still believe that they have a better ethical framework. Alternative would be you find your morals through what?
You'd probably find your morals through like your own personal beliefs, which not as reliable typically.
Not as reliable. That's a good way to put it.
What? Why would you discount your own self-intelligence, I guess, to call your own morals unreliable, the ones you found? Sure, there could be flaws in them. Like, a common one might be, oh, this person of one skin color wronged me, therefore I will dislike all the people of the same skin color. Sure, that's a bad moral. And it's easier to look yourself in if you're just, like, looking from your own perspective. But at the same time, if you're only looking through morals through the Bible, then my first problem is, I don't know, that feels kind of cheap. It feels like you don't long for. Maybe this is me getting too poetic. It feels like you don't long for progress. You don't long for like polishing your own ideals, polishing your own morals, polishing your own ideas, and just thinking through yourself. But what if, let's just say, there are fallacies in the logic or morals in the Bible, in the Christian framework of morals, blah, 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 blah. If you only go from them, you will always make the same moral mistakes. I'm not saying they're mistakes, but I'm saying what if they are. Whilst, if you go through your own morals, you can readjust them as you wish. So maybe, oh yeah, this, let's just say, black guy wronged me, but this other black guy did me right. So maybe I don't hate all black people, huh? Maybe they're just people. So subscribing and wholeheartedly believing, just adopting, wow, okay, more synonyms please. Just adopting someone else's philosophy and just copying it one-to-one as your own philosophy, to me will always feel cheap. Because it feels like you're not putting your own spin, your own reflection, your own experience, even your own thoughts into it. So are you really living, or are you just reliving someone else's words? That sounded better in my head.
Knowledge, like what you know, And there's a question of like, well, how do you know what you know? Like, how do you know?
By proving it.
How do you know?
Okay, there's wow. I feel like such a dickhead. No, but like this is a flaw within philosophy. Like I think there should be a very clear separation between practical philosophy, like quick logic, like a plus b is ab. But the deeper you go, suddenly the logic you use to prove stuff starts fucking up. Trying to get a really nitty gritty with philosophy always ends up in like, well, fuck if I know. I have no idea. Nothing. You just know nothing. That's all you realize.
Know what you know is true. So how do you know?
By proving it, like what Will said.
How do you know that 2 + 2 = 4? Is that true? Is that true?
Because other people have proved it.
Have you proved it?
Yes.
How did you prove it?
So first you go like this, 2. And then you have 2 other fingers. You add these together and then you
Y'all collectively look easy to rob. That's a funny guy.
2, 3, 4. Voila.
So you basically use a scientific method to come up with, or mathematics to come up with that. Attempted it, and you've made a hypothesis and an experiment, and then you're able to repeat it.
Yes.
Like every time you add 2 and 2 together, you get 4, right?
Depending on what kind of math you use. I feel like this dad is like just too involved in his kid's development.
You don't really want a terrorist organization to be in the possession of nuclear weapons.
To be fair, there's a couple of arguments against this. Now, Iran is a pretty sophisticated country, pretty educated, and there's been rumors that they're enriching uranium and creating nuclear weapons for quite a while, like for 20, 30 years maybe. Is this another weapons of mass destruction like we had in Iraq, using that excuse to go in and destroy a country and upset a regime and all of that? But with this one, it's interesting. I think they do have the...
I am not a good editor, even though that's kind of my job. But here, I feel like you cut too quickly and you start in the middle of your argument, which sure, if you have a podcast, it might be hard to cut and keep all the context. But like, I have no idea what you're talking about here.
So if there's a bias in something, you know that they're probably not telling the truth.
Well, kid, let me tell you something. Everyone is biased. I am biased, you are. So nobody's telling the truth? No. Well, it's deeper than that.
Or they may tell the truth, but it may be a little bit more biased toward one thing than the other, so it has a better chance of not being true.
Bias is pretty important because sometimes you might want something to be true, and so you might actually find studies or information that just confirm what you want to be true, right? So you got to be careful of that and try to take your own biases out of decisions when you're searching for truth.
Sure. You know what? Conservative dad, you go off, King. That was a good take.
You know what pisses me off?
You sound fired up, young man.
The fact that Charlie Kirk
Say no more, I feel you.
goes to colleges to debate about women's reproductive rights.
And he does so with this look on his face that's certainly stomach churning.
He's been growing a large following.
Aren't a woman.
Hats off to you, keep up the good work.
Wow.
I feel like it's easy just to be a liberal. All you have to do is just hate Trump and hate Charlie Kirk. Have all the same thoughts as other liberals, and that...
You know what? I'll say one thing. It's kind of nice because they seem quite nuanced in their beliefs in the conservative system, which is fine. But I wish they applied that nuance and that depth of reasoning to liberals. Because then I really do think that they can... Wow, why am I suddenly so intelligent? What the fuck? I just snapped out of it. I just got conscious about like what the fuck I'm talking about. But it'd be nice if these kids like actually like understood liberal values. I'm not saying I'm a full liberal. I'm like in the middle. I know, fucking crazy. Understood liberal values as much as they understand conservative ones. So then they could really pick out and choose what they like. Because they talked about not being biased, but obviously they're probably joking here about, yeah, to be a liberal, just hate Trump, yada yada. But if they truly understood liberal values and they truly understood conservative values, then I think that would give them a much better basis to like actually progress forward with their ideas. Maybe, I'm a conservative, but this liberal thought right here, not bad. Or I'm a liberal, but this conservative thought right here, not bad. See, that's why I'm in the center, because both sides have some fair points sometimes. But obviously my side is the correct one. Everything I say, you can just take it as fully true and never double check anything I say. That's why you should like and subscribe right now.
Government wants to control people If you can get God out of the equation, people will be unhappy, depressed, easily manipulated, and controlled. Thank God. Faith is coming back in style in America. What we're seeing numbers-wise, young men coming to Christ like never before. Bible sales are...
Okay, this is probably one of my biggest arguments for Christianity, or for any kind of religion. It gives you purpose. It gives you belief that you matter. Imagine you're going through like the hardest shit ever. Like, I don't know, your parents died, your grandma died, everyone died, you have no arms, no legs. It might be comfortable to think, oh, it's actually just some God's test. I know I'll be fine when I die, and everything will be okay. And some God is watching over me, things will be okay, I have a purpose, I'm here, I am just fulfilling my path on God's great plan. That's quite comforting, to think that somebody's looking out for you. Whilst if you're maybe like an atheist, or just don't believe or don't subscribe to the idea that there's somebody watching over you, or like a supernatural being, you might just think, I'm fucked, this is fucked, I am miserable, and I have no guarantee of anything. Which one of them is more comforting? Well, in my opinion, obviously, the one that believes that there is some higher power watching over you. But at the same time, somewhat paradoxically, which of them appreciates life in its natural essence more? The one who finds an excuse to live through God or through like a higher power, or the one who just appreciates, or I guess accepts the hand given to them and just accepts the reality of the situation? I don't know, just on food for thought. I might not even make any sense.
If Israel laid down all their arms and said, we just want peace, what do you think would happen?
They'd probably be destroyed.
Whether it be nukes or they would just come in and slaughter all of them.
And then
right?
the opposite way around. Israel's a pretty holy place. Do you think they're going to go in and bomb it? No.
If these...
You know what? This shows that the kids have no idea what they're talking about. Because they did bomb all civilians. But you know what? Who can blame the kids? They're just kids. Blame the father. No, don't blame the father. I don't know. Do whatever you think is right. Subscribe, like, love, caress my channel. I love you. See you later. Bye. Mwah.